Alright boys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over some dev replies. It is currently 5 a.m., about to be 6 a.m., so I might be a little bit slow, but it is what it is. We have some dev replies to go over and some new news on future things that will happen to the game, future updates and future changes. So like always, first link down below will be a playlist with all the most up-to-date news for Bannerlord and guides and all of that, so go check that out. And let's do it. So we have three right over here. Boom, boom, and boom. Let's go check them out. So first one is titled Increase Workshop Levels. Alrighty. So we got Flessin. I think that's how you say his name. Probably not. Flessin 19. I'm going to say Flessin. He asks a developer and he says, I know money issues affect a lot of people. And since 1.0, which is the first patch, workshops have said level 1. Implying that you can't really upgrade your workshop, but each workshop shows level 1, which should imply that eventually we're going to get level 2, maybe level 3, and stuff of that nature. He asks, is there any plans to increase their level to make additional profits? I'm sure a ton of people would love this feature. True, I would love this feature as well. Alrighty, now let's scroll through. We got a lot of people talking about it, but let's see what the devs have to say. Alrighty, so the first dev, what's it called? He inserts a quote from somebody else saying that person asked this dev about this issue, right? Or not this issue, this workshop levels, right? And the dev replies, links or it didn't happen. But he states there are plans in the sense of we are open to exploring the idea. As you observed, there is a level indicator which wouldn't be there if we weren't playing around with things. Exactly. So pretty much the reason why they put, the level, pretty much the level 1 thing on the workshops is because, they do eventually want to do it, but they are playing around with it, and it's not currently there yet. He states, but not plans in the sense of this is happening. Okay, so not currently. So it's not currently happening. Currently, we are still not entirely happy with the broader economy balance, and this is something we want to address first. Okay, so pretty much what the devs are saying is before they actually, play around with the workshops and see if they could, increase the levels and all that, they first have to make sure the economy is stable enough to the point where they think it is stable enough. Which I agree, some parts of the economy is not very stable. How AI lords manage their resources, the tribute system. There's a couple of things wrong with the economy in the game currently, so it does make sense. Next we have Flessin talking again. He states, I think I talked to another dev about the economy months ago that is an issue, especially with caravans and workshops, so I understand that delay getting the economy fixed. Do you know if that is the reason that workshops aren't being touched? Because they are in terrible shape, worse than it's been since 1.1. Half the shops work badly, especially after the horrible decision to make wine and oil non-consumable, which could have been easily fixed. Increased villager production and slightly increasing workshop production for those shops are trash. No. Okay, that was kind of a weird sentence, but okay. Pretty much what he's stating here is, some changes were made that weren't very good for the economy, like making wine and oil non-consumable. So obviously your party can't consume it anymore. It's just a trade item. And also saying that, workshops, they all make not the best amount of income, and they all kind of have like the same kind of max, in my opinion, of what the best one can be and what average ones are. They're all pretty much the same. They just have different commodities, if that kind of makes sense. But they're all pretty much, they do the same thing. They're not dynamic. The dev responds and says, Flessin is right. There will be an update regarding caravan behavior. Okay. Production and workshop adjustments. Okay. Which is completed and is being tested for deployment. Okay, so this is actually, they are talking about 1.7.3, which is currently being tested right now. So it is the next patch. We will see improvements to the caravan behavior, production, and workshop adjustments. By workshop adjustments, I don't think he means workshop levels. So don't get your hopes up too quick. I think he means like as an adjustments for how much they make and how profitable they are. He states, in this new version, generally workshops are much more okay, there it is. He stated, in this new version, generally workshops are more profitable, and also not every workshop has the same to maximum profits. Exactly. Exactly what I was just talking about. So make them more dynamic. Make some workshops perform very well, some workshops perform very badly, and have people find those best ones, right? Make it kind of like a little mini game in itself, which I think is good. Good news, pretty much. Next, we have the next, what do you call it? Right over here, title. It states, I hate other lords summoning my companion parties. This is actually an older thread from 2021, but we have some new dev replies over here. So first we have a player, he, what's it called? He brought back this discussion and added the dev again and said, what has happened to this? And by what he means by this, he states, could we get a request pop up similar to ransom offers of an offer to take one of your parties into an army that lets us choose yes or no with the relationship penalty if we choose no? So what this means is pretty much people don't like when, let's say, for example, you have a kingdom, right? And you have clans, and also you have parties that is under your clan. Now, if another clan decides to make an army, well, guess what? They can call your parties to their army. And therefore, if you try to call an army, there might be nobody to call because they are all taken. And that is a problem people have, obviously, and they want to have the option to, choose, hey, like if a clan calls one of my parties, I should have the option to say yes or no before they actually join the army. And obviously, there should be a relationship penalty if they say no, which makes sense. Okay. And then the dev replied, this was before, the dev replied, this is like in 2021, he replied, I like this idea. I will try to include this in a suggestions meeting. It might be overbearing as I'm not sure how frequent this happens, but if it's not very frequent, it might be possible. Okay. And now the player states, so what happened to this idea? And the dev responds, this is implemented, however, not as requested, but instead, when you select a stance for your party, namely the defensive stance, your parties will not join the armies. So pretty much what he's saying is it was changed, but not in the same way. You won't receive a pop-up every time they want to join an army. It's just if you want that party to not join an army, set them to the defensive stance, and therefore they will not join, or the party will not join any other army, if that kind of makes sense. So there it is. It's not the exact change that people wanted, but at the same time, it's there. Next, we have noble troop recruitment. Alrighty, so I kind of already skimmed through this part right over here. What he's saying right over here is, if you guys didn't know, I want to say recently, a couple patches back, there was a change to noble troops. So if you didn't know, there's the regular troop tree that every single culture has, and there's a noble troop tree. So the regular troop tree, it starts off with the recruits and it has a lot of different variants of where you can go, different choices. Most of the time it's really split up, kind of like, every single choice has like 2 different things you can choose from, and therefore you can build a lot of different troops from that recruit. Now noble recruits are more rare, or they were more rare before a couple patches back, and they would have very high level troops. For example, if you wanted the best archers for battalions, that's under the noble troop tree. Or if you wanted the best horse archers for the Khazaits, it's under the noble troop tree. And there's specific units. They were very rare before a couple patches ago, and they're very hard to find. And what Flesson is saying in this post is he wants it to go back to that because he feels like they're very common now. And pretty much the change that happened a couple patches ago is the nobles who used to offer like regular recruits, once they hit power level of 200, if I'm not mistaken, they start offering noble troops instead. Before, it was only certain nobles, randomly would give you noble troops. Now it's set to, if the nobles become powerful, they will start giving better troops, not just regular recruits, but noble recruits. So he's saying he wants to revert this change. Okay? Ooh. Excuse me, got a text. And it's kind of weird, 6 a.m. text, alrighty. But the dev responds, availability of recruits in general is one of the balanced aspects that we are actively looking into. Alrighty, so they are looking into it. There might be further changes in the future, But that's pretty much all we've gotten as an answer from the devs. It might get changed, it might not get changed. We'll see how it goes. Personally, yeah, I think they should be a little bit more rare than they are now. They are a little bit more frequent, obviously, because of the changes. And obviously, further changes in patches, such as, if I'm not mistaken, the villages that are connected to castles, they gain they have a bonus for how fast nobles actually gain power. So therefore, later into the game, like the amount of noble troops that are available might be more than actual recruits that are available, like regular recruits. So it might be a little bit too much, and obviously some balancing might have to be done. Whether it is to make it harder for nobles to actually go up in power, or make it so they can fall in power as well, or just making it kind of not based on the power of the nobles. You know what I mean? And by nobles, I mean like the guys who let you recruit their troops in towns and in in villages. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this little information. We got some little changes. Just a quick rundown. We're going to see in 1.7.3, we're going to see an update regarding caravan behavior, okay, production, and workshop adjustments. Workshops are going to become more profitable, and also they're not going to share the same maximum profits. Some are going to be a lot better than others. There you go. Then we also have this pretty much, it's not an update, but it's kind of like a reminder. If you do not want your parties to join your friendly clan armies, then you have to just set them to a defensive stance. There you go. That can be done in the options, the main game options. And for the noble troop recruitment, it's getting looked at. There it is. That will do it for me, and I will see you in the next one.